The culture of Vietnam is rich and colorful, highlighted by vibrant music and dance, savory cuisine, and water puppetry. Like any nation, its culture is informed by its history. Although Vietnam had a long history of conflict, its painful and bloody dealings with the West through the 20th century would have far-reaching implications for the nation's people and their culture. As a period marked by French colonialism and American intervention came to an end on April 30th, 1975 with the fall of Saigon, many Vietnamese fled the country. Their fate would be that shared by all refugee peoples, one marked by tenuous balance between old culture and a new world.
How do you feel about how the Vietnamese are represented in American culture?
For the most part, I think people kind of have a negative opinion because of the movies that are on the Vietnam War, and a lot of people forget that it was a civil war within Vietnam, and the U.S. came to help. They kind of see it as Vietnam guerrilla warfare against America, and that's all they know about it. So people have generally a negative opinion.
As for the representation of Vietnamese people in American culture, I think it's very limited, very small. Most people don't even know about us, and we're only known because of the Vietnam War, because of the American involvement. And what is known is from the American perspective. It's never from the Vietnamese perspective.
I've been talking to the public officials in the city of Chicago, and my questions to them always do you have any Vietnamese that work in your office? The answer is no. So we don't represent a whole lot in the city of Chicago. It can be a lot more.
My parents are from southern Vietnam, and after the war, most of the southern men and women were put into camps to kind of retrain them into the communist ways of life. So my parents basically didn't have a good future there, so their parents wanted them to leave, and they had to escape by boat. They had to save up rice and things and kind of plan for months on how to escape, because there were lots of patrols along the coast to make sure they wouldn't escape. Then when my dad left, he got captured 3 times, and he was in a jail in China as well as I think Cambodia, and then after a couple years trying to escape, he finally came to America, and he met with my mom.
Actually, we had no choice. I left my country without knowing that we're going anywhere, because my dad would just put us on the airplane and tell, it was 5 of us, that me and my sisters and brothers, and we just, my dad just said, you guys go on vacation. My parents, sent us here, but just because they're afraid that we're not going to be able to make it back there when the war ended. So, because of the war, and there's so many people are here without a choice. The language, the culture's difference. It's in our culture, if I sit and talk to you, I don't look at your eyes, okay? That means disrespect, okay? So we don't look at people and straight in the eyes. When you come here, if you don't look at people's eyes when you talk, you're hiding something. So this is something that's really unique. Sometimes you have to pay attention to that, because you got misunderstood by the people. in our country we have like 50-50. It's like Catholics, 50% of the people are Catholics and 50 is Buddhism. And for the Buddhism, they have a lot more rituals.
We used to be predominantly Buddhist and Catholic, and there's also a third sort of religion, more of a cultural thing, where we worship the ancestors. With the rise of communism, a lot of Catholics have been driven out, a lot of them have been in prisons and such. So Catholicism, which it stemmed from French imperialism, is downplayed now, but there's still a lot of Catholics, especially in America.
I guess the most important holiday would be the New Year's, because it represents starting fresh, completely new. You clean up your house, which represents sweeping out all the bad things you've done, and then you start all over. Within my house and like some of my relatives' houses, we do the traditional, we clean out the entire house the week before New Year's, and then the day of, you're not really supposed to do anything but relax, because the year just kind of embraces you and you start over. And then it is celebrated for 3 days, in which people visit their relatives and kind of pray to their ancestors to bring luck to them. And the older adults usually give younger children lucky envelopes of money.
We still give out lucky money.
What's that?
Lucky money is this red envelope, and you put money in it, and the younger people come up to you and they wish you a happy, prosperous new year. And the thing is, they wish you those prosperity and such, and you give them the lucky money, as it's like giving out luck and also receiving luck.
There are many Buddhist schools as well as Vietnamese schools that focus on the language. The schools help them relearn Vietnamese so they can communicate with other relatives who don't speak English. And then there's the Vietnamese community in Chicago that has many shops that have clothing from Vietnam as well as the toys and food, so then people are able to make Vietnamese food still. There's local and national Vietnamese beauty pageants where Vietnamese American girls, they do the traditional American style beauty pageants with the different gowns, bathing suits, talent portion, but then they also concentrate on helping Vietnam. So they win scholarship money as well as funds to start programs that will help back in the country.
We have several classes here on every Sunday. We do it free for anybody that want to study Vietnamese. I try to organize all these events according to the calendar that we do. We have a magazine in here, and we write all of these things, the cultures, and we try to preserve as much as we can. There is a plan for us to build a culture center, but that's going to take a long time. Mm-hmm. We came here. This organization was established in 1976, and at that time we didn't have money, no electricity, just a group of people who just really wanted to be together. Mm-hmm. And they did that with $50.
We still cook Vietnamese foods. Like, I don't really like Western food much, because Vietnamese food is a lot lighter and easier to digest and a lot healthier. I think the most important thing for Vietnamese people in keeping their culture alive is the language. Like, a lot of older people try to make sure the younger generation knows how to speak the language and write and read it. And I think it's very important to remain somewhat tied to your roots and your culture, and also know the American culture, because the American culture, there is no American culture. It's made up of all these different ethnicities that come to America. So Vietnamese American culture is part of it. So to know the American culture is to know the ethnicity that you're a part of, and also what the overall American culture is.